Kent Peter Money Talk here with another video. So now I make a template for this video. Those templates are, I mean, they're not too special, but I'm just not going to do them in every video. I basically make those templates to get more attraction, to make people want to click on it. So those were the templates were for. But in this video, I want to talk about my first $1,000. And it's $1,000. It's more important than you think it is. It makes you think more about money. So my first job, I think it was a couple weeks, might have been last month. I was talking about my first job working at Albertson. Fun time. I started like in summer. I'm not gonna say what year, but I was 16 when I started working there. So around the springtime of the next year. So I'm 17 now. And I finally had $1,000 in the bank. And how did that $1,000 feel? Well, let me tell you something. I felt like I was rich. When I had that $1,000 in that bank, I felt so rich. Life was good. So $1,000 is a lot of money to a 17-year-old. But for me, get $1,000, that's like regular. I get that like regularly now. So getting $1,000 now, it just doesn't feel the same as getting $1,000 when I was 17. Because that was the first time I ever seen $1,000 in my saving account. So $1,000, it was just a lot of money for me. Plus I didn't have any bills back then. When I was 17, I'd had like no car. I didn't have a car when I was 17. So no insurance. I didn't even have a phone. I didn't get a phone until I was 19. That's when I got my first cell phone. I was like 19. So it was easy for me to save money. It was like really easy back then. Until my parents ruined it. Okay, it wasn't just my parents. I did get a car. So yeah, I guess you could say a car kind of ruined it. Because the first car I had was like a truck. But I didn't get that until like 2 years later. So anyway, me getting $1,000, I just felt rich. And I'm sure a lot of us feel that way when we first get $1,000. We feel rich. But eventually, $1,000 just doesn't seem like a lot of money. So now you need to feel rich when you have $2,000, $3,000, $4,000. But for me to get that same feeling from when I was 17, I'm probably going to need like $10,000, maybe even $20,000 in that saving account for me to get that same feeling, that same rich feeling that I had when I was 17. So why is this video important? Because there's always that number where we think we're going to be rich. But over time, that amount of money just doesn't seem rich anymore. When I had $5,000 in the bank, of course, that was later on, when I first moved out here in these apartments. I think I might have had like either $5 grand or $6 grand in my saving account back then. And yes, I felt kind of rich back then. But now that just doesn't seem rich anymore. So $10,000. So I say like 10 grand or 15 grand. I mean, I'll probably feel a little bit rich when I have that much. But then over time, that won't even feel rich anymore. It's like, okay, 15 grand's not that much. Only at least 50 grand feel rich. So yes, if I was getting 50 grand right now, I mean, I would feel kind of rich. But over time, I'll be thinking 50 grand, it's not that much. I need at least 100 grand. So on. Then it's like I need $1 million to feel rich. Most of us will feel rich if we have $1 million. Then it's like $1 million not that much. I need like 7 million. So we're just gonna keep shooting up and up. In other words, the heart is never satisfied. No matter how much money you have in that saving account, it's just not gonna be enough. You're just gonna want more. You're just gonna want more of it. So there are the verse that say the heart is never satisfied. I just don't remember the verse right now. I mean, it's just never gonna be enough. You're just always gonna want more. So the best thing to do is stop chasing riches. Don't chase it forever because eventually you don't have like billions of dollars. Let's say let's say you finally save up to like $1 trillion, but you're 90 years old. I mean, what would be the point? You can't really enjoy money then when you're that old. Most of your life is over. I highly doubt I'll ever live that long. I'm like 100% sure I'm never gonna live to that long. I'm probably lucky I don't live half that long. If this World War III goes on. Not that I'm afraid I'm gonna be drafted, but what enemies came to America and fought us? That's another topic though. So what I'm saying, you're just always gonna want more money, no matter how much you have. When I was a kid, when I was like 11 years old, $100 was a lot of money to me. I'm telling you, $100 when I was like 11, I felt rich. But now I get $100 like every day. I get $100 like every single day I go to work. So now it's like nothing. 11-year-old me, I feel rich having $100. But now I get $100 every single day I clock in to work. About that much. Maybe after taxes. Give or take them. When I was 16 is when I was finally able to like really build up some money. So I had like $1,000 when I was 7. I remember I was putting $1,000. I saved it like over a short amount of time. Then I put some money in the bank. I put like my last paycheck in the bank. I had like $1,000. I was happy. And I just kept building it up. But when I had that $1,000, I just felt rich. I was happy to have that $1,000 in my saving account. Still wasn't enough to buy a car. Well, I just kept saving up money. And I believe I did save up to like $2,000 before my 18th birthday. I'm pretty sure I did. Man, I wish I would have kept that bank book. Then I could have seen how much I saved up. But when I was working at that job, I did save up to like $4,000. And I think I was like around 18 or 19 when I had $4,000 in my banking account. I felt rich having that much in my banking account. I was happy about that. But of course, bills started coming around. I had like the car payment. Actually, I didn't have a car payment, but I had to pay like car insurance. Well, sometimes I had to spend a lot of money on car maintenance, so I was not able to build up to that $5,000. It took me a while to get $5,000, but eventually I got it. Several years later. because a lot of stuff happened after I graduated high school. After I was like 19, just a lot of stuff happened. I wish I could say I spent a lot of money on girls. I wish I could say that, but I didn't. It would have been nice to have a girlfriend when I was 19. I spent a lot of money on school though when I was in college. But the same feeling of getting that $1,000 at 17, it's just not the same today, and that's how it is with a lot of us. So, put in the comments, how old were you when you first had $1,000? Let me know. And if you were to get $1,000 today, would it feel the same? I mean, it just would not feel the same. For me to get that same feeling, I'm probably going to need like 10 grand or 15 grand at least. Around that amount. I'm going to need to feel rich. And even so, when I get 10 grand, if you saw like one of my videos where I was saving up money to make a down payment, it's likely going to go straight to a down payment. So it's not going to be in my account too long, probably. So I might raise it up to 20 grand. We'll see. But right now, I think I have I'm over 10% towards getting that 10 grand for a down payment. But if I was to get 100 grand right now, well, I would definitely feel rich. I mean, 100 grand is not enough to quit your job, but it could give you time to think. That's like, we'll say a 3-year salary. Depending on your job, you have like $30,000 job. That could be like a 3-year salary. $50,000 job. I'm going by a year, by the way. That'd be like a 2-year salary. And you have $1 million, just add like a extra zero to that. 20 years. So honestly, if I had $1 million, I mean, and I just lost my job, I mean, I can afford to be picky then. If I had $1 million, I could definitely afford to be picky. I would feel rich if I had $1 million, but if I hung out with rich people and they all had every single one they were like multi-millionaires, I'm just not gonna feel rich anymore. Net still. But let me tell you something. When I save up to $1,000, I feel like I could do anything. I feel like I could save up to millions of dollars. I actually did. I actually felt like I could save any amount of money when I was 17. It gave me that feeling. It gave me that hope. Because before that, I was lucky just to have $100 when I was a kid. When I was working at Albertson, that's the first time I was getting paid consistently. I mean, my dad did pay me whenever I did carpet cleaning for him. And I did say I had like the paperboy job when I was 13 to 14. That job was garbage. They only paid like $25 a month. I did say that. My dad paid me $3 an hour for the carpet cleaning. But I did that whenever he had like a job. He would just take me. Sometimes it was just me. Sometimes it was me and my brother to clean some carpets. So I used to vacuum the carpets with this Kirby vacuum cleaner. I used to know how to take it apart and set up. I used to know how to set it up to where you shampoo the carpet. It's been so long. I'm not even sure I can still do it now. It's been so long. Fun times. Things that we kids had to do to make money. But when I got that job at Allerton, I was getting paid consistently. It was like every single week. There was usually something every single week. Sometimes it was like, sometimes I only got like 4 hours in a single week. Other times I got like around 20 hours. This one I was like 17. I mean, 20 hours, that's actually not bad when you're like 17. Especially if you don't have bills. But once I had that $1,000, I was happy. I had that happy moment. But eventually, it goes away. I'm just going to want more then. And that's how it is in life. We're always going to want more. So you like this video, give me a thumb up. And you want to see more videos like this, hit that bell button. That way you should be notified every time I do a video. But with that being said, have a good day. Bye for now.